There is no climate crisis, and we're not in the midst of an energy transition either.
Chris Wright is an oil and gas executive and nominee for Secretary of Energy in the new Trump administration.
What about extreme weather, you ask? We have seen no increase in the frequency or intensity of hurricanes, tornadoes, droughts, or floods, despite endless fear-mongering of the media, politicians, and activists. This is not my opinion. This is the facts, as contained in the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change reports.
Mr. Wright's claims and statements about what the IPCC report says are demonstrably incorrect.
The Washington Post reports that recent claims made by Mr. Wright about the findings of the IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, are incorrect, according to the scientists who authored the relevant research. Jim Kossin is a research scientist retired from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and a lecturer at the University of Wisconsin. Dr. Kossin is a lead author of the most recent IPCC report, in particular the section cited by Mr. Wright.
It's remarkably simple to show this. Our executive summary in Chapter 11, which is extreme events and relationships to climate, very clearly in a very short time, 3 pages, with very easy to read bullet points, claims quite different result. His are not at all in alignment with what our report says. Our confidence for the relationship between climate and extreme events varies by what type of extreme event we're talking about. We have very high confidence in the relationship between temperature extremes. So that would be heat waves and, of course, things like Arctic outbreaks and things like that. That would be a cold extreme. In those cases, we use words like virtually certain that these things are changing to become more intense or more frequent or both, and virtually certain that human actions have played a substantial role in this. So that's where we start. If we drop down to extreme precipitation events,
in one town around Valencia called Chiva, it experienced more rainfall than it normally gets in 1 year in just the span of 8 hours. So really seeing some horrific imagery coming out of that.
So we have high confidence that extreme precipitation events are increasing in intensity and frequency, and that human actions are playing a substantial role. If we switch next to something like drought, we still have good confidence that drought extremes are increasing and that human actions are playing a role.
And this is a result of climate change. You're seeing water scarcity, drought in some cases, and then when those torrential floods do come, the earth no longer has the capacity to actually suck up that water, and it just runs rabid.
When we get to tropical cyclones, which includes hurricanes, our confidence varies from medium to high.
It's just an incredible hurricane. It has dropped It has dropped 50 millibars in 10 hours. I apologize. This is just horrific. The seas are just so incredibly hot, record hot, as you might imagine. You know what's driving that. I don't need to tell you. Global warming, climate change, leading to this and becoming an increasing threat.
Our confidence is high that climate change increases the intensity of storms, that it increases the proportion of the strongest storms, the Saffir-Simpson category 4 and 5 storms. It increases the amount of rain generated by these storms. These are the things that we have high confidence in.